All of these people in my life acting berserk. I'm feeling all pissed off and hurt. I need to know if I am the jerk. Oh, am I the jerk? Oh.
This person wants to know if they're a jerk simply for standing up for themselves. They say, every 4th of July, my brother hosts his big cookout. He makes the food, but he does have this rule. It's bring your own alcoholic beverages. So every year, I bring a cooler of good beer. It's supposed to be for me and my brother, since he's the one that's providing the food. But every year, he winds up handing out all the beer to everybody else at the party. Like last year's party, I spent $120 on beer. I'm talking about nice craft beers and IPAs and all that kind of stuff. I come home with nothing after dropping $120 because he's just grabbing all these IPAs to people who really don't even drink them. They're taking 2 drinks and they're dropping them and then just wasting the beers. And I'm starting to get a little bit upset. So when it came to this year, I brought my own cooler and I kept it in my car. When I needed a beer, I would ask my brother if he wanted one. And then he finally said, yeah, you know what? I need one, and get 4 or 5 other beers. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have enough. I'm so sorry. And then he calls me out in front of a group of his friends and he said, look, I make the food. You bring the beer, all right? I said, it's supposed to be bring your own beer, not, hey, my brother's bringing all the beer for you guys to drink. He reminded me, he's like, well, I spent $100 on hot dogs and hamburgers. I said, well, it's your party. So why do I have to spend more than you if I'm only a guest? I hate to say all this in front of his friends, but he brought it up and called me out. So now he's not speaking to me. So was I a jerk for standing up for myself in that moment?
I got a
These are a couple of cheap asses.
Yeah, I got a rule. If I am throwing the party, you come and you leave your troubles at the door and it's catered. If you want to bring something, that's cool. That's fine with me. But I'm not expecting anyone to bring beer, food. I invited you to my house, so I'm going to give you a throwdown. That's how I look at it.
But as soon as you walk in the door, too, with a cooler, I think it's all for the party. It's all for community. It's all for everybody to share at that point. Like, why are we bickering over beer?
Well, this is because he didn't bring the cooler in this year. He kept it in his car and was going back to his car to get the beers, because last year when he did bring in the cooler, yes, it became the public property and everybody took it, and he dropped $120 on beer for people that were taking 2 sips of his IPAs and then dropping them in the trash.
What you should have said to your brother is, okay, do me a favor. Slow your roll. Don't just start handing out beer to people that don't want it. Tell everybody, hey, there's the cooler. There's beer over there. Help yourself. And people that want it will go get it. When you start handing people a beer, they feel obligated to open it. And I think that's what he's saying happened. Yeah. Even people that don't even drink IPAs probably opened an IPA, took 1 sip and said, ugh, and didn't drink it. Don't be the Pied Piper of beer, handing it out to everybody. Just tell people the cooler's there. Help yourself. He should have spoke to his brother, though, before in private. You don't say that to him in front of a group.
That's right.
Even when they call you out in front of people and you're kind of there.
Before you made the decision to bring your own cooler and leave it in your car, you should have had a conversation with your brother about how you didn't like the way things went last year, because he was handing beers out to people that weren't even going to drink them. And he was trying to be too hospitable. Show people where the cooler is and let them help themselves. Calm down.
I mean, everybody should just be #be cool. Bring some beer in for, if you do, Virginia's right. If you bring in a cooler full of beer at a party, people think it's
community property.
Yeah, they think you're going to be able to have a beer.
As soon as you
That's why he didn't want to be that guy. He didn't want to be a community beer guy.
But you also can do it both ways. Bring in some beer for the party, then have a stash for yourself. And if your brother doesn't understand that, tell him to scratch. I mean, everyone can have a good time on this one.
He wants to know in that moment how he handled it. Yeah, he probably could have handled it better going in and had more communication. But in that moment, should you not say anything and just take it? Or are you okay to say, hey, look, I mean, this is your party. And it is supposed to be everybody bring their own alcohol, not, hey, my brother's bringing all the alcohol for everybody else.
I do get why he felt like he had to speak up. His brother put him on the spot in front of a bunch of people. But the thing that he should have done is when he made that decision to keep the cooler in his car, he should have let his brother know his plan, and they could have discussed it then and figured it out. And yeah, Jay Bird's right. Have a cheap cooler of beer that you bring in with like less expensive beer, not fancy craft IPAs. Leave the fancy craft IPAs in your car then.
If me and V were going to throw a party together, we would have conversations before the party, and I would go, "Hey, dog, I'm going to bring some beer from my own little stash. I'll bring some in for the party. All is good, but just don't be mad when you see me sneaking off drinking my own little beer because all your friends keep drinking my damn beer."
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't care. I'd rather give out my beer than drink it myself, but that's just me.
Yeah, of course, because you're at a party.
I mean, I'd rather drink the crap beer and give people the good beer.
Well, when it comes to standing up for himself in that moment after being called out in front of his brother and his friends, 84% of people said he's not a jerk.
Yeah, because people don't like being called out. You only call out people out one-on-one or on the radio.
But you and your brother need to have better communication before these parties. Figure out exactly who's going to do what. If he's doing the food and then you're providing some of the beer, maybe you spend like $40 or $50 and then you cut it off.
Is it weird that I think they're both annoying? I don't know.
They are kind of both annoying.
This doesn't have to get to this. This could be such an easy fix.
It sounds like they're both cheapskates.
And I don't think they love each other.
I don't think they do.
Stop talking to each other forever.
Well, the guy probably called his brother out because he was drinking all the beer.
Totally. It's so much easier to call people out with a buzz.
And this person wants to know if they're a jerk for kicking his grandma off my Netflix. She said, my ex is still using my Netflix and is jacking up my algorithm. The only things it recommends is shows with Japanese anime.
Oh, I'd be so annoyed.
When I called him on it, he tried to blame it on his grandma and said that it would be really uncool to cut her off. She's bedridden and Netflix is her only joy. Yeah, in case you're wondering, my boyfriend is a jobless loser who has no job and not enough money for his own Netflix. And oh, by the way, he loves Japanese anime.
We knew that.
Yeah. So there's a strong chance that none of what he said is even true. He's a big time liar. So am I a jerk if I change my password and kick him off my account?
No.
He's trying to say it's grandma.
You're not. It's not grandma. Grandma doesn't watch Japanese anime.
When you're ending a relationship and you want to cut ties, you're supposed to cut ties,
Cut 'em.
man. And that's a connection to you both.
Cut him. If you didn't have a relationship with his grandma and you don't know her like that, then you're not responsible for giving her Netflix.
Yeah.
Maybe she is watching it here and there. It's not your problem.
Plot twist. Grandma died 2 months ago.
Oh, dang.
Definitely kick him off.
Boom.
Definitely kick him off. Yeah, I saw this yesterday about Netflix and Japanese anime, and I was surprised. Netflix says 50% of its global users are watching anime. 50%. Now, these are global users, but that is half of everybody watching Netflix is watching Japanese anime.
It keeps suggesting that I watch it, and I'm like, you don't know me.
Oh, it's crossed over into the, let's just say, the adult world as well.
There's anime
Oh.
sexy time.
There absolutely is. And it is a popular genre.
Maybe that's what grandma's watching.
Maybe.
That Netflix don't get down like that.
Okay.